The highlight of the month was the Pope's long-awaited visit to South Korea. With tensions continuing to mount between North and South Korea, many anticipated a word of peace and reconciliation.
Korea's quest for peace is a cause close to our hearts, for it affects the stability of the entire area and indeed of our whole war-weary world.
2 days into his visit, Pope Francis presided over the beatification of Paul Yun-Jing-chung and another 123 martyrs who were killed during the height of the country's religious persecution in the 18th and 19th century. The event saw the participation of more than 1 million people. During his homily, Pope Francis recalled the example of the martyrs as a call to contribute to peace in the Korean peninsula.
L'eredità dei martiri può ispirare tutti gli uomini e le donne di buona volontà ad operare in armonia per una società più giusta, libera e riconciliata, contribuendo così alla pace e alla difesa dei valori autenticamente umani in questo paese e nel mondo intero.
The Pope also provided comfort to grieving families who lost loved ones in the tragic Seawolf ferry boat accident. While greeting the faithful in his Pope-mobile, he stopped to greet the families who were there protesting for the government to open an investigation into the tragedy. On the final day of his visit, the Pope celebrated a Mass for peace and reconciliation in Seoul's cathedral. He called on the faithful to follow the gospel in order to obtain harmony in the two Koreas.
Vi chiama come cristiani e come coreani a respingere con fermezza una mentalità fondata sul sospetto, sul contrasto e sulla competizione e a favorire piuttosto una cultura plasmata dall'insegnamento del Vangelo e dai più nobili valori tradizionali del popolo coreano.
On his return flight from South Korea, the Pope gave a candid press conference in which he called on the international community to defend Christians from the threat of the Islamic State.
Che è lecito fermare l'aggressore ingiusto. Sottolineo il verbo fermare. Non dico bombardiare, fare la guerra, fermarlo. I mezzi con i quali si possono fermare dovranno essere valutati.
Although the Pope spends his time comforting those who are suffering, unfortunately, he is not immune to tragedy. 3 relatives of Pope Francis died 2 days after his return from South Korea in a car crash in Argentina. During his general audience that week, the Pope expressed his appreciation for the prayers for his family.
Anche il Papa ha una famiglia e noi eravamo 5 fratelli, ho 16 nipoti e uno di questi nipoti ha avuto un incidente stradale, è morta la moglie, i 2 figli piccolini di 2 anni e pochi mesi l'altro e lui è in questo momento è in stato critico. Ma vi ringrazio tanto delle condoglianze e la preghiera.
The Pope ended the month, continuing his mission of sharing in the sufferings of people, particularly in the Middle East. He met with Father Jorge Hernandez, an Argentinian missionary working in Gaza during the Israeli campaign against Palestine. Pope Francis invited him to the Vatican to hear firsthand accounts of what locals are dealing with, including the aftermath the destruction has left behind.